What's up again, everybody? Well, Worlds has come and gone, and it was absolutely amazing. If you haven't caught up with all the Worlds coverage that we've done on this channel, feel free to jump back. I just uploaded all of the games from the main event that we broadcasted in one stream. I cut them up into small videos so that you can watch each and every one of them, all the way up leading to the final. And man, now that Worlds is over, like, what are we doing? It's sort of that weird lull phase where we're just waiting for the next set to drop. Oh wait, we were able to spoil some cards at Worlds from the new upcoming D&D set. So let's do a combo breakdown around one of those, shall we? Calliope, Charismatic Bard, is a 4-cost shield character with the good alignment, the equip little symbol there at the top. I always want to call this the Earl Grey banner because of like tea, but it's the Force Grey banner. An 013-023-135 stat line, the experience keyword, and finally, when Calliope and at least one NPC die attack, NPC in D&D sets is a sidekick die, after blockers are declared, you may swap Calliope and one of the NPC dice. If you do and Calliope is no longer blocked, the NPC die gains Overcrush. So this card has a lot going for it, and one of the things that I want to mess around with right now is the idea of swapping an unblocked NPC with a blocked Calliope. Calliope becomes unblocked, and then we can just push a bunch of damage with her. And yes, I know what you're thinking, a 1, 2, or 3 attack side is really bad, but she does have the experience keyword, and if you don't know the experience keyword, it basically says on your turn, at the end of your turn, if your opponent had a monster and it was KO'd during your turn, and Calliope's out there sitting in the field, she gets an experience token on her card. Each experience token on her card gives her a +1/+1 buff to her stat line, and it's permanent unless you are playing against someone that's somehow running experience removal, which is pretty light. So this card has a lot of utility in like a D&D versus D&D theme like matchup, but in the wider modern world, there's not a ton of monsters that are being run. Yes, there are things like Yuan-ti Pureblood, the common, which was definitely able to see play, and we could definitely be sitting across the table from it. But just in case you're playing against someone that's not running Yuan-ti Pureblood, let's do something crazy. Let's play Loki, Father of Mayhem, a 6-drop mask character, villain affiliated. We don't care about the stat line, but it's a pretty decent 115, 117, 228. And then it says, when fielded, select target non-Loki character die you control and target opposing character die and swap control of them. At the end of your turn, return the opposing character die if active, and your opponent gives you back your character die if active. And notice this, control dice that leave the field go to their owner's prep area immediately. So what does all this mean? Well, it means we could run our own monster, give it to our opponent when we field a Loki, take their thing, and then use some sort of an effect to KO our monster, and at the end of our turn, we would get an experience token on Calliope. Does that seem a bit excessive and like very circuitous? Well, you're right. We're not here for streamlined, like top-level stuff today. We're here to do something really hilarious and stupid. So if we're going to give our opponent a monster, let's give them something that we would also want to use ourselves. Let's give them Gazer, Evil Familiar, a 2-cost shield character, evil alignment monster, obviously with the monster banner, and 011, 111, 112 stat line. It has Intimidate, which is a when fielded keyword, so they can't take advantage of it because they're not going to be fielding it. We will be. And once we give it to them, it's just going to sit there in the field zone. But it also says Gazer can only use Intimidate on character dice with 1 or less experience tokens. So this is going to hit just about everything that possibly could. So we could remove something from their field for a turn, something like dangerous, control-y, and then we can swap Gazer with something that they have and then use some effect to remove Gazer or KO Gazer. It would go to our prep area, which is great because then we get to field it again next turn. And we also have the experience token added to Calliope. And don't forget, in this whole process, after you field Loki, you've basically taken one of their character dice as well. So let's do something hilarious. Let's not just stop where we're at. Let's use Nihilor Plotting to pay a mask and once per turn KO whatever we stole from them. So they're not just going to get it go back in the field. They're going to have to refield it and re-roll it because when we KO their character that we've taken, it goes to their prep area. So we have this weird little janky combo of Loki taking their thing and then we can pay a mask to remove their thing. It's pretty funny. So there's your 4-card combo. You got Calliope sitting out in the field waiting to gain experience tokens. You're giving Gazers over to your opponent with Loki, and then you're using some effect, I don't know, maybe like a magic missile, to KO the Gazer so that you can gain experience points and then refield the Gazer next turn. Every time you take something from them, you can pay a mask and pop off their thing, and you could even do it on their turn, pay a mask and KO your own Loki so that you could field it again next turn as well. All in all, it's not going to win you a ton of games, but oh my gosh, it's going to be hilarious. You're going to be laughing the whole time you do it. So what do you do with the rest of this team? Well, that's a great question. If we've already got a big KO thing going, why don't we put a really good KO character? Like, for example, the upcoming Grell, Xanathar Guild Bodyguard, a 2-cost Bolt character, evil affiliated monster as well, an 021, 131, 132 stat line that says when an 021, 131, 132 stat line that says when Grell is KO'd, you may draw 2 dice from your bag, prep 1 and place the other in your used pile. So this is both ramp and churn, and it's on a KO focused team with a global that actually has the ability to just pop this whenever you want, both on your opponent's turn or on your own turn. It also is a nice little 2-cost source of bolts, so if we plan on using Magic Missile, which, spoiler alert, we're going to use Magic Missile to KO all of these monsters that we give our opponent, he provides those bolts, right? And you know what? Because this team is very much a combat damage centric team that is looking to push numbers advantages, making it harder for your opponent to block things like all of your sidekicks. That's how Calliope gets through, is the sidekicks go unblocked. Well, let's add a brand new, unspoiled card to this team. This is Istrid Horn, mined for money. She's a 2-cost fist character. She's evil with the equip symbol. She's got an 012, 022, 132 stat line. She also has the experience keyword, so she could benefit from this whole experience gaining thing. And she says, while she's active, your opponent's NPC dice cost 1 more to field. So now all of a sudden, your opponent's sidekicks and allies cost 1 more to field. Sidekicks don't cost anything, but now they cost 1. So your opponent's going to have to pay 1 each time they want to put a sidekick in the field. This card is sick. And it's a 2-drop with experience. So on this team where you're looking to gain experience tokens, this is a really, really strong card. So what else do we add? Well, we have to buy a 6-drop for this whole thing to work. So let's add like a little bit of ramp. Let's go with Chwinga, Greater Elemental, a 2-cost bolt character, also a great provider of bolts. It's got the swarm keyword. It says when an NPC character die is fielded, spin each of your Chwinga dice up 1 level. Now, I could have also chosen the common, and the common's a 1-cost version that you have to attack with if it's on level 2 or level 3. That would have been fine, so you could swap either of them out, but I've not played with the Greater Elemental. In fact, I had to create the graphic when I came up with the idea to use it, so I figured why not, let's just use this one, give it a shot. With the final slot on the team open, I thought to myself, well, there's a lot of moving parts to this, so it would be kind of nice if we could maybe create a cheaper version of all of these moving parts. Just in case, you know, like, I don't know, this 6-cost is really hard to get around and then pay for each time. Well, let's add on Doppelganger Lesser Monstrosity, a 3-cost mask character that's also a monster. The stat line doesn't matter because this one says when fielded, you may select target character die you control. If you do, your Doppelganger character dice become copies of the target character die. That has all of the names, subtitles, affiliations, abilities, and stats of the original in place of this own. So essentially, this Doppelganger can just become a copy of a Loki that's in the field. And if you field another Doppelganger, all of a sudden you've really fielded just another Loki, and it's a 3-cost version, which is pretty sick. You want more Calliopes? Well, buy it for 3 instead of buying it for 4. That's not bad. You could even target like Gazer with it or a Grell and then KO it. I mean, it's got a lot of flexibility. As for the basic action slots, I've already spoiled that we're using Magic Missile to KO Gazer and to KO Grell, or to use the Nihilor thing if it's on our side. But Magic Missile obviously up there. And let's also throw on Candlekeep. I mean, we need some ramp, right? We got to buy a 6-drop, and we're keeping this extremely thematic. I don't know if you've noticed, but all but Loki cards are D&D related. So why not throw on a little bit of ramp in the form of Candlekeep? We could either draw 2 or roll it, or we could draw 2 or prep it. How flexible. So here is a super fun, super thematic team built around the idea of making Calliope really, really, really big after KOing a bunch of monsters each turn, and then swapping it out with an unblocked sidekick so that you can push that Calliope damage. Now there's other things you could do with this team, like you could try to play up the swap it with an unblocked sidekick that gets Overcrush thing, but I didn't lean towards that way. If you have some ideas for what you could do with that Overcrushing sidekick, put them in a comment below. Let me know what you think about this team, what things you would change, what you would tweak. Maybe you want the common Chwinga, maybe you even want the rare Chwinga, I don't know. Tell me what you think about Istrid Horn, if you think that 2-drop ability is sick or not. I think it's amazing, that's why I put it on the team. And as always, thanks for watching.